Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is up nicely today across the board, seeing really great gains. And I want to talk about what has happened in the past 12 to 24 hours. Some of the big movers in the space, be it Bitcoin leading the pack up over 6%. NEO making a massive movement on the day. Is it coming back from the dead? Is it alive? Gas absolutely crushing it in the past couple of days. What the heck that means? Definitely want to hear your guys' opinion on that. A couple other cryptocurrencies that have done really well. OMG, Omise Go, and a few others. Kyber Network really crushing it after the ICO. So let's get into it today. Now, if you are new, cheers. My name is Rob from Crypto Bobby. I do daily recorded videos on the subject of cryptocurrency. So hit me up with that subscribe. That would be fantastic. And if you have been here for a while, always appreciate the subscribers and everybody else who watches the video. So hit me up with a like. That would be fantastic. Now let's get into it. Over the past 24 hours or so, Bitcoin was really consolidating around 3,700, and finally this morning, at least my time, 10 a.m. Eastern time in the US, Bitcoin had a massive movement starting at 30. Well, let's redefine massive. Had a really nice movement, starting at about 37.70, going all the way up to 39.30, which was really great to see here. I mean, you could see the size of that green candle, and those gains have basically held. We can actually see where we are right now is basically held for the past 12 hours or so. So Bitcoin rocketed this morning at around 10 a.m. The big news, or the big kind of thing that a lot of people are talking about, was Bitcoin breaking 3,800, 3,830, and some numbers in the 38s. And over the course of 1 hour, just skyrocketed. And once that happened, a lot of other cryptocurrencies really followed behind, this movement here, where Bitcoin went up. Let's see how many percentage-wise. Bitcoin went up about 4.5%, close to 4.5% in an hour, which by Bitcoin standards, when you're talking about a market cap of that size, 4.5% doesn't sound like much when you're talking about cryptocurrency, but when you're talking about a market cap of Bitcoin size, I mean, that's a massive movement. Now, in addition to that, Ethereum also had a nice day, following pretty closely to Bitcoin, trading a little bit behind in the ratio, down about the ETH to Bitcoin ratio, down about 3% on the day, but not having a bad day by any stretch if you were holding in Ethereum. Now, Litecoin as well really had a solid day in the marketplace. When Bitcoin had that run, you could see in the green, you could see the amount of volume there. When Bitcoin had that run up to its kind of top, you can see Litecoin at a certain point was up. When Bitcoin was up about 4.5% to 5%, Litecoin was up close to 10%. So really 2x in terms of the gains. And Litecoin is stabilized back above $50, $52. So if you're holding Litecoin, a fantastic day in the marketplace as well. So what a lot of people call the big three, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin really having a good day for the majority of holders in the space. Now, outside of that, there was a pretty solid green day for the majority of the cryptocurrency marketplace. If we're looking at things, Litecoin in the top 10, somewhat leading the way outside of NEO, finally coming back from the dead of Asia, China regulation. NEO is alive and looks like pretty well for the most part. So we'll take a look at those NEO charts. We'll also hop into the OMG charts, with OMG up a very respectable 15%. Both cryptocurrencies, NEO well above $1 billion at 1.3 billion in market cap. NEO working to get back to that $1 billion cryptocurrency. But we'll pop into NEO. We'll take a look at what is going on there on the Bitfinex charts. And we can see here too that actually around the same time that Bitcoin made that move up at 10 a.m. Eastern time here, NEO was already making a nice little run down from the sub $20 range all the way up to $27. So NEO has made a very nice move in the marketplace. But if we zoom out the charts a little bit, I mean, we'll look at the 3-month charts here. But if we zoom out the charts, for the most part, we can take a look at how things are on the 1-day charts. Let's see here. Within the past 3 months, I mean, NEO's gone up from all the way in the plus $50 range. So it's still at about 50% below its all-time high here. These charts on the USD charts on Bitfinex aren't the greatest, but Neo, its all-time high was above $50, so you're still looking at around 50% below its all-time high, but nonetheless, a 30% movement is fantastic to see. On Neo's perspective, I know there are a lot of people that are pretty positive about the cryptocurrency, a lot of holders that bought somewhat high, so hoping that, whether you're recouping losses or if you bought low, that it's a good day for you if you are on the Neo game. Now, outside of that, I'll pop into OMG as well so we could take a look at what's going on with OMG, again, in Bitfinex and the OMG to USD charts here. So OMG, for the most part, is held up, in my opinion, pretty well in regards to a lot of kind of the up and down of the month of September. Granted, OMG has had highs above $13, but when you're considering that OMG started off in late July at under $1, the fact that OMG is still holding above $10, I mean, for anybody who participated in that ICO, you're looking at still 10x, 10, 20x. You're looking at massive gains. So, I mean, you can see the charts here. Granted, if you bought at $13, you had a nice little bit of you took a nice little bit of hurt in here, but at the same point in time, I think it's important when you're looking at something like OMG to zoom out the charts, but even seeing in the past couple days, it's been a really nice run for OMG, and I've been impressed as to how the crypto is, as to how Omise Go has held up in what has been somewhat of a difficult marketplace in the month of September. That's just me personally, but I've been impressed to see how it's held up, the volume in the past couple days, as well as the buying volume when it had that major dip down to $6, below $7, and all the way back up to around $10 over the course of a day or so. Now, outside of that, when we were looking in the crypto marketplace today, obviously, like I said, pretty much everything in the top 10, positive movements. Neo making a massive movement, leading the top 10, up over 30%. And Omise Go, up 15%, so also in a nice movement. Qdom, which has somewhat followed Neo in terms of its trading, both on the movements down as well as on the movements up. Qdom is up nicely, kind of following Neo there, up 16%. But when we scroll down here, a couple different cryptos that I'm looking at right now and that you may be looking at as well. Kyber Network, their ICO happened. They are a decentralized exchange that is using some pretty interesting technologies in the terms of kind of how the market is decentralized. So Kyber Network is a really interesting project backed by a lot of big name people. Since the ICO, Kyber Network has really crushed it, and we can even see, past the ICO, up from a $240 million market cap to over $300 million. Is that sustainable? We'll see. I mean, there's kind of been it seems to be there's really two ways with a lot of these ICOs that make these massive gains. 1 or 2 out of 10 of these ICOs turns out to be like an Omise Go, where it just, you think it's going to stop and it goes and it goes and it goes. And then you have a lot of other ICOs where, maybe it's like a Manetha or it's some of these other cryptocurrencies where you see this nice pop on the ICO and it just sells off and continues to sell off for damn near forever. So it's undetermined which one Kyber Network will be. But with a lot of the backing, and if they can really execute on the vision of a decentralized exchange, nobody has really been able to make it work effectively yet. EtherDelta works, but it's difficult to use. 0x has had a nice couple days, but it's also kind of in its infant stages. Bancor is kind of rarely used, so Kyber is competing with the EtherDeltas, the 0x's, the Bancors of the world to be that premier decentralized exchange. I think it's somewhat of, not necessarily winner take all, but if they can establish themselves as that, the market could certainly move upwards for a cryptocurrency that has that type of effect. So Kyber Network is another one I'm keeping my eye on. And then the last one that I want to talk about here today, scroll down to 26 to see gas up 69%. To a $220 million market cap, which is pretty damn nuts. At the same point in time, there was a time when gas was trading over $30 a pop. And so this is not its all-time high, but in the past couple days, gas has made a move. From September 20th, it was trading below $10, and now it is up to 20. It's up 2.5 times from basically less than a week ago, which is pretty interesting to see. And gas is related to Neo and is somewhat, kind of the token required, I believe, actually don't want to misspeak here, but is one of the tokens kind of basically like the ether or the gas for the Ethereum network. It's gas for Neo. So it has had a really nice movement in conjunction in some cases with Neo, but it's been pretty cool to see. And I know some people have taken a little bit of a stake in gas. So hopefully if you have, you made some profits there. But one thing too that I will mention is a lot of people are talking and joking like, hey, how is Neo or how is gas as much or as expensive as Neo? And while gas and Neo might be in a similar price range, I think they're both around $26 right now. You have to look at the market cap. There's a much smaller supply of gas than there is of Neo. So I believe there are there are a circulating supply of about 8.5 million gas. There's a circulating supply of, I believe, 50 million Neo tokens. So they might be at the same. They basically might be at the same exact price, but that doesn't mean that gas is as valuable as Neo is, because Neo's circulating supply is that much larger, which means that the market cap is still 5.5x or whatever it is, 5x of what gas's is, which is just an important thing to note there. Now, outside of that, guys, I really did just want to come in tonight with a quick market recap of what has happened in the past 24 hours or so. Hopefully keep you as informed as possible. If you do have any questions at all, please let me know. Hopefully this was a helpful video for you, and looking forward to providing you with more content in the near future. Again, if you are new here, hit up that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate that. My name is Rob from Crypto Bobby. Hope you had a great day in the markets, and whether you're buying, if you're trading, if you're holding, if you're selling, doesn't matter to me. Good luck. Have a good one. Peace.